Donald Trump is having a complete and total mental breakdown, and it's happening in real time for the entire world to see. At 2 a.m. this morning, Trump began an unhinged posting spree on social media that is genuinely terrifying. We're not talking about normal late night tweets. We're talking about the ravings of someone who is clearly in severe psychological distress. Mental health experts are sounding alarms. Former White House officials are expressing concern. Even some Republicans are privately admitting that Trump's mental state is deteriorating rapidly. This is a 5-alarm fire, and we need to talk about it. Hit subscribe because this is one of the most important videos we've ever made. Let me walk you through exactly what happened overnight. At 2:03 a.m. Eastern Time, Trump posted a rant attacking Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, calling him, quote, a weak and stupid person who is destroying America. Remember, Trump's own Justice Department is currently prosecuting Powell on bogus charges, and multiple Republican senators, including Tom Tillis, have said they will block any Trump nominee for Fed chair until the Powell prosecution is dropped. Then, at 2:17 a.m., Trump posted claiming that the January jobs report is, quote, fake news created by Biden holdovers in the Bureau of Labor Statistics to make me look bad. Donald, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, is part of the Department of Labor, which is run by your own appointee. These are your people producing these numbers. You can't claim your own administration's data is fake news. At 2:28 a.m., Trump posted another rant about his golden arch, claiming that, quote, the fake judge is blocking the most beautiful monument in American history because he hates greatness. Donald, the judge is blocking it because it's too big. It blocks views of the Lincoln Memorial, and it's being compared to Hitler's planned arch in Berlin. But here's where it gets really disturbing. At 2:45 a.m., Trump posted another attack on Alex Prey, the American citizen who was murdered by Border Patrol. Trump called Prey, quote, an insurrectionist and a threat whose stock has fallen. Let me be very clear about how ghoulish this is. Alex Prey is dead. He was shot up to 10 times by Border Patrol after being disarmed. His family is grieving, and the President of the United States is defaming him at 2:45 in the morning. This is sociopathic behavior. At 3:07 a.m., Trump announced that he is suing the IRS for $10 billion, claiming they leaked his tax returns years ago. Donald, you're the president. You're suing your own government. You're asking the American taxpayers to pay you $10 billion. The entire budget of the IRS is probably less than $10 billion. This is insane. And this is perhaps the most bizarre part, starting around 3:30 a.m., Trump began posting AI-generated images of himself looking strong and powerful. We're talking about obvious AI images showing Trump with rippling muscles, Trump as a warrior, Trump as some kind of superhero. He's posting fake AI images of himself while having a mental breakdown at 3 in the morning. Now, let me share with you what mental health experts are saying about this behavior. Dr. John Gartner, a psychologist who has been tracking Trump's mental decline, said in a statement this morning, quote, what we're witnessing is a narcissistic collapse. When narcissists face threats to their self-image, when reality contradicts their grandiose self-perception, they can experience severe psychological distress that manifests as rage, paranoia, and increasingly detached from reality behavior. The 2 a.m. posting spree, the defaming of a dead man, the lawsuits against his own government, the AI images of himself as powerful. These are all signs of someone whose grip on reality is slipping, end quote. Dr. Bandy Lee, a forensic psychiatrist who has written extensively about Trump's mental fitness, told reporters, quote, the pattern we're seeing is acceleration. The breakdowns are happening more frequently, the content is more disturbing, and the disconnect from reality is more pronounced. This is someone who should not have access to nuclear launch codes, end quote. And you know what this reminds experts of? Richard Nixon's final days. In the weeks before Nixon resigned, White House staff reported that Nixon was drinking heavily, talking to portraits of dead presidents, and behaving erratically. Defense Secretary James Schlesinger actually gave secret orders to military commanders to check with him before carrying out any nuclear launch orders from Nixon because there were concerns about Nixon's mental state. Are we at that point with Trump? Are we at the point where someone needs to step in and create safeguards between Trump and the nuclear codes? Because based on what we're seeing, that's a legitimate question to ask. Let me read you what some former Trump officials are saying. Miles Taylor, who served in Trump's Department of Homeland Security and later became a whistleblower, posted this morning, "I worked in the Trump White House. What we're seeing now is worse than anything I witnessed during my time there. The mental decline is obvious and alarming. Someone close to him needs to intervene before something catastrophic happens." Another former official, speaking on condition of anonymity, told reporters, "People need to understand that Trump's worst impulses were restrained during his first term by adults in the room. Those adults are gone. The people around him now are yes men and sycophants who won't tell him no. There's no one to stop him from acting on his most unhinged thoughts." And here's what's really concerning. Trump is making major policy decisions while in this mental state. He's threatening to bomb Iran. He's imposing tariffs that are destroying the economy. He's pardoning violent criminals. He's ordering ICE raids that are terrorizing communities. All of this is happening while he's posting unhinged rants at 2 in the morning. Now, you might be wondering, why is Trump having this breakdown now? Well, multiple things are converging. First, the Epstein documents have exposed Trump and his entire inner circle. We're seeing emails, allegations, connections that Trump spent years trying to hide. Second, the economy is failing under his policies, and the jobs report made that undeniable. Third, protests are spreading across the country demanding his removal. Fourth, judges are blocking his vanity projects. Fifth, even some Republicans are starting to distance themselves from him. Trump is a malignant narcissist who cannot handle failure, criticism, or loss of control. And right now, he's experiencing all three simultaneously. The world is rejecting him, reality is contradicting his claims of greatness, and he can't handle it psychologically. So he's lashing out. He's attacking everyone around him. He's filing frivolous lawsuits. He's defaming dead people. He's posting AI images of himself because actual images don't show him the way he imagines himself. This is textbook narcissistic collapse. But here's the really scary part. Trump still has enormous power. He can order military strikes. He can fire cabinet members. He can weaponize the Justice Department. He can pardon criminals. He can impose tariffs. He can sign executive orders. And he's doing all of this while in severe psychological distress. The 25th Amendment exists for exactly this situation. Section 4 of the 25th Amendment allows the vice president and a majority of the cabinet to declare the president unable to discharge the duties of office. When that happens, the vice president immediately becomes acting president. Now, is J.D. Vance going to invoke the 25th Amendment against Trump? Almost certainly not. Vance is a coward who will do whatever Trump tells him to do. But the fact that we're even talking about the 25th Amendment shows how serious this situation has become. And by the way, some Republicans are quietly worried about this. I'm hearing from sources that there are private conversations happening among Republican senators about Trump's mental state. They're not speaking publicly because they're afraid of Trump's base, but behind closed doors, some of them are genuinely concerned. They're seeing the same things we're seeing, and they're worried about where this is heading. One Republican senator, speaking anonymously, told a reporter, "We all see it. The late-night posts, the increasingly bizarre behavior, the disconnect from reality. But what are we supposed to do? If we speak out, we get primaried. If we stay silent, we're complicit. It's an impossible situation." Well, here's what they're supposed to do. Their jobs. They're supposed to put country over party. They're supposed to exercise oversight. They're supposed to use the constitutional tools available to them to check a president who is clearly unfit. But they won't do that because they're cowards. So it's up to us, the American people, to demand action. We need to be calling our representatives. We need to be protesting. We need to be making noise about this. The president is having a mental breakdown, and it's not something we can just ignore and hope it gets better. Now, I want to be very careful here. I'm not a mental health professional. I can't diagnose Trump with a specific condition. What I can do is observe his behavior. and point out that it's extremely concerning and that experts are alarmed. What I can do is say that a president posting unhinged rants at 2 a.m., defaming dead citizens, suing his own government for $10 billion, and posting AI-generated images of himself is not normal or acceptable. And what I can say is that the American people deserve a president who is mentally fit to serve. We deserve a president who can handle stress and criticism without having public breakdowns. We deserve a president who is grounded in reality. We deserve better than this. So what happens next? Well, if Trump's mental state continues to deteriorate, we're going to see more of this behavior. More late-night meltdowns, more bizarre posts, more erratic decision-making. And at some point, either the people around him will be forced to intervene or something catastrophic will happen that forces the issue. But we can't just wait and hope for the best. We need to be proactive. We need to be demanding that Congress exercise oversight. We need to be supporting the protests and the resistance. We need to be calling for Trump's removal through every legal and constitutional means available. The man is not well. The man is not fit to serve. The man is a danger to himself and to the country, and we can't pretend otherwise just because it's uncomfortable to talk about. We'll keep monitoring Trump's mental state and reporting on any further breakdowns. We'll keep you posted every step of the way. Hit subscribe, help us get to 6 million. Check out our full analysis on Substack at MidasPlus.com. Support independent journalism at store.midastuch.com. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, but please be respectful about mental health issues, even as we acknowledge the serious concerns here. Thanks for watching.